Hi, I'm Steph, and welcome to Next Batch Studio. For years, I've helped others tell their stories through podcasts, videos, and their content strategies. And so now I want to pull back that curtain and share it with you all. This channel is going to be where I share everything that I've learned, what I'm testing, and what I'm reiterating on. Because the philosophy of Next Batch is that the next batch is always better. I want to help you take your brand and your expertise and turn it into something that actually reaches people on the internet. So think of this as kind of a creative behind the scenes where we all get to test our recipes together. Let's get started with batch 1. So last week I was actually at an event that was for graphic designers and creatives in my area, and it was all a bunch of founders and creators that were telling amazing stories about how they built their entire content and their entire business from the ground up. But the thing that resonated most with me throughout all of that was just their strength and their ability to storytell. Not only were they sharing kind of the action items that they took to build their businesses, but they talked about the failures, they talked about the challenges that they faced, and these entrepreneurs and creatives really hit the nail on the head with how to tell a story that connects with your audience. Because of that powerful message, I think it's important to share with you all some of the most important things I've found when it comes to crafting your story. So first up, I just want to talk about the general thing of crafting an emotional connection with your audience. Creating emotional connections in your content is like opening up the door to your home and inviting somebody in. When you share your authentic story, you hold up a mirror to the audience and you let them see themselves within you. And sometimes it doesn't even need to be your own story, even just sharing stories that inspire you, whether it's ones you've heard or ones from your clients or customers. Being able to share that with your audience creates that connection. It opens the door to genuine human emotion. And that's the strongest thing you can do when you're speaking to anybody in your audience. When you imagine your audience as your community rather than just viewers or potential customers, you create a lasting connection with them that goes beyond the single sale or the single click or the single view. As they connect with your story, they're more likely to build loyalty and trust, and that builds lifelong customers. So if you're ready to take action, I've got your first step. I want you to write down 3 short stories about your own journey. They don't need to be anything intense. They can be if you want, but you can even start with a small challenge you overcame or the journey that led you to doing what you're doing now. Anything that you can think of that makes you who you are. Then ask yourself, what's the lesson here that my audience can learn from? So now that you understand the importance of connecting to your community, let's talk about the art of storytelling. So you don't need to be some master storyteller, a writer, a journalist to become really good at telling your own story. It's all about speaking from the heart so you can connect to the hearts of others. This connection needs to go beyond facts and figures. It needs to go beyond just the product you're selling. All that means is being honest about the messy parts, sharing the parts that aren't so sexy. You share the times that things didn't work out. You share the hardships you face. And that makes it so much easier for your audience to celebrate with you when you reach a big milestone and you have a happy experience and a happy day. By doing this, you make your brand far more trustworthy and you really create that human element that is so often not seen in businesses. So now your action item for this section is to take one of those stories you thought about earlier and share it to your Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, whatever your platform of your choice is. Just write it out and share it. So the third step in all of this is that not only do you have to share your story, but you have to then interact with your audience in a way that builds that genuine connection. Once you've shared your story, it's important to kind of revisit those posts and make sure that your audience feels that they're being heard when they respond to you. It's the little things like responding to a comment or sending an email or making just your customers and your viewers feel heard and appreciated. Those are the things that make them feel like they can trust you and they will come back and be a returning customer or a new customer or a subscriber, whatever it is you're looking for. When people perceive your brand as genuine and engaging, they put so much more trust into whatever you're trying to sell. So your action item here is to create a piece of content that answers a question that your customers ask directly. Whether that's a comment on a post or an email or something that's come up in reviews of your product, take that and answer it honestly, even if it's bad. Sometimes the bad ones are the ones that you really need to respond to. By doing that, you're showing that you're listening and that you're engaged. All right, do you feel like you're ready to dive into some storytelling now? Even if you're not feeling super ready, start with one story, because every story is a chance to connect. Every time you share something personal, it's something that someone can resonate with. If this resonated with you, or if you're looking for more tips on content marketing or content creation, then hit subscribe. I'd love for you to be here. And if you'd like to be part of my community, drop a comment below and share with me what your story is. And who knows, maybe somebody else reading the comments will find a story that resonates with them. Thanks. See you next time.